discuss how Likkle ideas are transformed into big dreams. On the toolkit, and you will access a lot of resources. A lot of the information that we presented here today, there are a lot of activity sheets, so we encourage you to download some of that information. Also, there's a digital swag bag with Good afternoon, everyone. It is Wednesday, November 23rd. I had to think about that. And I'm Doreed Whitlock. I am the Chief Marketing Officer of Samuel Fields Consulting Group. Every Wednesday, we bring you this show, Likkle Byte Ideas, where we talk about how you can transform little ideas or Likkle ideas into big dreams. Today, we are talking about entrepreneurship as we have been throughout the month of November. It is Entrepreneurship Month. And so for all of the folks who are full-time at entrepreneurship, some of you may have a side hustle, a gig, a thought, an idea. This is a month that we've taken some time out to really give you some tips from a financial standpoint so that you can keep going. Now, my co-host, Megan Samuel Fields, I know that she's having some connection problems. She's rebooting her computer. She will join in. And we also have two guests lined up. I think they're running a bit late, but hopefully they'll join us as well. We're talking music. We're talking to the young people, even though the young at heart may also be interested in music. But we're going to be talking to two young men who have made music their life's mission. They've worked in the music industry as DJs. They're pursuing studies. They've built a business. And so many young people may decide to do this full-time or part-time. But we want to talk about musicians and performers in general, because you're a small business owner. You really have to apply great financial management skills as a musician, because you have a gig today, you could have a great season. For example, if you're working on a cruise ship in the tourism industry, there's a high season, there's a low season. You have to live 12 months out of the year, so you have to come up with ways to manage your money. So there's a certain rhythm that musicians and entertainers especially have to consider to ensure that they can stay on top of their finances. So today we want this to be as interactive as possible, and I hope that Megan can join us soon, because I know that she's very excited about this show. Here she is.
I am here.
Welcome, welcome.
Hi, everyone. My apologies. I'm having some problems with my computer, so I'm using my phone, but I didn't want to miss it at all. Yep. And one of our guests is here. So
okay, fantastic.
We can get the show on the road.
Well, let me officially introduce the topic. Today's topic is Keeping the Beat, how musicians create financial rhythm. And so, as I mentioned, when you're in the entertainment industry, especially a musician, a DJ, there's a high season, a low season. You have to live 12 months out of the year. So you have to create a certain patterns, good habits, to make sure that you can live reasonably well year round, even though your earnings may not be consistent year round. So I'd like to welcome which one of our guests do we have today?
Well, we have in studio DJ Rhythm Master. Come on
DJ
in, DJ
Rhythm Master.
There you
Hi,
are.
good afternoon. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Loud and clear. How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing well.
Fantastic. Where are you located?
I'm in Antigua at the moment.
Okay, great. I wasn't sure.
That's a good question because he is so well known and in such great demand. He's been all over the world.
Wow. Rhythm Master, have you met DJ Nice yet?
Nice.
You haven't heard of DJ Nice?
Nice. Antiguan.
No, he's not Antiguan. He's an American DJ.
Well, okay. There are probably a lot of DJs nice, but I don't think no.
Okay, DJ Nice is the premier. He's the one that did. I think he came into prominence with Michelle Obama. During COVID, he really took off. He did a mixer and brought a lot of celebrities in.
I remember that.
Yeah, and he broke every chart. You should check him out. Personality Cat done. Personality.
I will definitely make that my homework.
I actually met him about maybe 15 years ago when he was just trying his thing. We have a friend in common, and he has taken it to a level that, DJ Nice is more popular than some of the people's music that he plays.
I wonder if he goes by the name D Nice, but that's another story.
D Nice, yeah.
Yes, I've heard the name before.
D Nice, yeah.
D Nice.
The D was added lately. We knew him back in the day here in New York as DJ Nice. Yep, D Nice. Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, I was wondering how you didn't know about him. Oh yeah. D Nice is it, and he has his what does he call them? He has these events that he puts on and features different artists, almost like a blast off or like a little marathon. It's during COVID, it really, really took off.
Yeah, a lot of people were doing a lot of lives during COVID, trying to help each other in the industry. So maybe I stumbled upon it, but COVID was a different situation by itself.
I can imagine. So listen, tell us a bit about your journey. Well, first of all, to our guests, I want to welcome all of you. I'm not even sure if I formally welcomed everyone, but I want to welcome everyone to our show. We're going to have some fun today. Everyone loves music. We all have our different genres that we specialize in. We have our influences, but we want to talk today about how music can influence finances. And, it's not a science, but people have different theories. So hopefully we can impart some knowledge from our experience, and you can think more deeply about some of the things that you can lean on as an influence to help you manage your money better. So to all of our guests, I want you to start thinking about, if you don't have one already, a money jam, meaning a song that talks about money, that, when you hear about it, you feel good. The adrenaline gets going, or, you just feel good. And it causes you to think about money. I'll give you one of my examples. I have several, but one of my favorite money jams is Just Got Paid Friday Night. And I'm
in your
talking,
pocket, feeling all right.
Yep. And so that takes me back to when I was in college, when this song came out and you heard that song and you got paid. You knew after a hard day's work, I just got paid. It's Friday night. Even if I wasn't going anywhere on Friday night, just the fact that I have money. So if I'm anywhere now, so it's now an oldie and a classic. And still, if I'm anywhere and I hear the song, Just Got Paid Friday Night, makes me feel good.
That's one of my favorites as well.
Yep. So I want everyone to think deeply, because we're going to ask you to drop it in the chat later on.
Absolutely.
What your money jam is. And so for a lot of us, to help us focus on music, we have a money jam. Some people have a money mantra. And of course, a mantra is something, it's a manifest, it's something that you want to happen, and you try to speak it into existence.
Get into being.
So we all have mantras as well. So I will be asking you more about your individual money jams and money mantras. And I really hope that DJ Rhythm brought some money music. He's done some work for us in the past and gave us some good music for our money, for our, was it the Life Conference?
For Life Conference, for YOLO.
Yes,
We did
yes.
our money mix.
Oh yes, we had a money mix and people loved it.
Oh,
The conference is over
absolutely.
and people were dancing in their chairs at home.
Oh yeah,
So
we had our virtual money jam.
money jam. Yep.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully we'll have a reenactment today. But
Don't know if
DJ
he can.
Rhythm, what's that?
He did indicate to me he might not be able to, but let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get him to sing. Maybe, I don't know. So, DJ Rhythm, tell us about your journey with music. When did you, first of all, what is your government name? What is your name on your government ID? What's the government name?
The government knows me by Darren Byron. That
Okay,
is my
that's
government name.
okay.
And
And
you know his
so,
mom very well.
oh, sure, I sure do. I sure do. And he comes from a musical family. I knew his mom
Absolutely.
to be involved in music, so the apple didn't fall far from the tree, or maybe it rolled in a different direction, but I'm sure it's somewhat.
So what I'll interject saying here is the tree wasn't just made from my mother.
True.
That's right.
Music is on both sides of my family, so
Oh wow.
I won't even say the apple fell at all. It's very much hanging by two grapevines connected to a long network of
Oh
other
wow.
trees. That's the easiest way to put it, honestly.
Wow.
So you had no
wow.
other choice.
I wouldn't say that. Well, I do have a brother. So I'm not the only version or copy from my parents,
Mhm.
and he didn't necessarily take the exact course I did. In terms of what he's doing now professionally, he's older than I am. So, I won't say I didn't have a choice, but I didn't have a choice.
We got you.
I've been intertwined in music before I even knew myself.
Wow.
So it runs deep. I like to tell people music literally goes through my veins.
I believe you.
And I mean, it runs through the family, but between my brother and I am the one that really stuck to it continuously throughout my short life lived so far.
So tell us about that journey.
Where do I start? Megan, you'd probably know me better than myself. I learned in terms, well, I am a DJ, yes, but I'm also a formal trained musician. I started learning to play the piano maybe as early as 4 or 5 years old.
Oh wow.
My grandmother, rest in peace, that passed away earlier this year. She was my first music teacher. That would be my mother's mother.
Oh, she just passed away this year? I didn't even know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. My condolences. Wow.
Thank you. So she was my first music teacher. I don't know what's this thing about parents not being able to teach their own children, but even for my mother, she said her mother didn't teach her. So hey, I guess whatever the line is. So she was my first music teacher from since a young age. Then my parents realized I had a growing interest for different musical instruments as I got older. I learned to play the guitar when I was, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. Honestly, I cannot remember. I also learned to play the violin as well. Both my brother and I. My brother also learned to play the violin from since he was 5 years old, 5 or 6 years old. We were part of the Youth Symphony Orchestra in Antigua. And I was never formally trained, but when I went to church, I was always interested in playing the drums. After church services, I would run up at the drum set and try to do whatever I do. My father was a part of the praise team, so I would be carried to practices on a Saturday, and even then I would just be around music every week in a different way. My mother would teach music at home. So at least 4 times a week I was hearing music in terms of classical instruments. So I was never formally taught how to play the drums, but it's something I picked up. It's self-taught. From the guitar, I also learned how to play the bass guitar. In high school, I picked up playing the pan, the single tenor. Um, I think that's well. It during high school you have to learn to play the recorder. It's just the way.
It's
So
standard now. Standard
yeah,
now.
it's very much standard. So that's a few of the instruments I've learned to play. I've been on a serious pause in terms of my formal trained musicianship for a while. Just because now the DJing, what I would like to call the digital music part of me took over for quite a few years. My father also used to play music in terms of he had CDs, cassettes. He has a whole collection at home. So he would be asked to play at functions at church, maybe other events, etc. And I'd always want to come along, tag teaming. So I've just always been understudy for quite a few years, learning how to set up speakers, that type of thing. Also help out with the technician work at church as well. So I've been on the digital part of music for a while now. Then when I went to primary school, just around maybe fourth grade, fifth grade, I got my first laptop, my own personal laptop, started collecting music and learned how to mix from song to song on a laptop. So I've been a DJ, maybe you can call it, from since I've been in fifth grade, which is 2009, 2010.
Wow.
So all of that to say, I've been a DJ for over a decade.
All right.
And our second guest is here, the Spaniard.
Okay. All right.
Let's bring him on.
Greetings, guys.
Greetings.
Hi. How are you? Good to
I'm
see
great.
you.
I'm great.
Well,
How
you
you guys
got here.
Tired.
We got here right on time.
Yeah, I did. I really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rhythm.
Spaniard.
Yes. So
I gotta
Spaniard.
tell you, these two young men, I really, really like them. I like their style. I like their professionalism as two young DJs. Both of them have done work for me, and they've never disappointed.
Fantastic.
All pleasure.
So Spaniard, we were talking about, having a music career and how you balance that, how you balance the moolah. You don't get a gig every day. I'm sure you have a high season where you get a lot of business.
That's
Then
true.
you have a dry spell where there's
Yes.
not as much business. So you have to but you got to keep your living standards kind of level.
Yes,
So
yes,
it
yes.
takes a lot of planning. So
Have to
that's
meet the
why we're
demands.
here. Yep. So that, you have bills that are 12 months a year, but you probably have some months where the money doesn't flow as well. So that's what we really want to talk about today, finding your rhythm. How do you find that rhythm that keeps you afloat, helps you manage? We started out by talking about money jams and money mantras, some of the things that people do to keep them to stay on track. So we were talking about, I was telling them my money jam takes me back to when I was in college, just got paid Friday night, right? What's your money? Do you have a money jam? Do you have a song about money that when you hear it, you feel good?
I don't know. I just give thanks. That's me. I'm just thankful. I just feel like a relief. Do you feel like a
As
relief?
well as a DJ, it's hard to have a money jam because
Yeah.
so many songs that
So
talk
many.
about and motivate
Yes.
you. It's a little
Yeah.
hard. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Yeah.
And maybe you guys don't, I find that artsy people don't think about money as much as the rest of us. You guys just let it flow. You
Is
guys,
that true, or is that just a perception? What do you guys say?
That's a perception.
Really?
That's a perception because
okay.
we also do things that persons consider regular persons do. They call us irregular individuals, so
Yeah, we do have regular bills to pay.
yeah, we have regular bills. We're humans too.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But DJ Spaniard, Rhythm Master just gave us a introduction, starting with his government name and telling us about his journey and what has drawn him to music. So we'd love to hear your story as well.
All right. Well, first things first, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Caesar Freeland. I go by the name The Spaniard. Oftentimes persons say DJ Spaniard because, it's a habit of persons just saying, DJ this, DJ that. But I attended the Clear Hall Secondary School. I am 26 years of age. I got into music from a young age. Basically, it was a generational thing. I have other musician families as well. So it's like a trend. I would call it something genetical. I started playing music at a young age, pretty young age, but I was sort of doing it illegally, where I used to play underneath the table of a bar. So, at a young age, you couldn't exactly be out there because, if the police see you, they shut down the whole bar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I used to play underneath the counter because my brother was basically the main musician, but while he was at his other job in the day, I would be playing underneath the counter. So everybody would wonder,
who's the hilarious.
DJ? Who's the DJ? Who's the DJ? And nobody exactly knew.
Wow.
I was just underneath the counter right there playing with a big screen compact. if you know compact computers, I stopped for a while. Then
How old were you then? How old were you at that time?
I was around age 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, age 9.
Were you getting paid? I mean, out there taking care of you.
Yeah. I mean, $10 was a lot back in the day.
Yeah, sure.
10, and basically my brother would just contribute 1 or 2 things to me every now and then, and I was just excited about playing music and hearing the crowd response from the other side, even though I couldn't see it. I would not dare put my face outside.
Wow.
Yeah, and I stopped for a while, traveling back and forth, decided to migrate back into the Dominican Republic. Then I came back again, started high school, where I met up with DJ Nez. DJ Nez, some of you may know him, one of the veterans in the business.
I know the name.
Yes. I met up with Nez, and I used to listen to Nez at the former nightclub called Coast. The Coast. So I used to hear him from the other side, because it was really loud. So I used to stay up and just rock in my bed until his segment would be finished. Yeah, and a few other names, I should say. Then I began going to high school, and I met up with him, and I did not know it was him. And I told him, and then I was more interested in sound system because, I also learned a few things in church, I should say. I learned planning church, and then I learned dealing with sound systems in church. Went over to, I also attended the Hell's Gate Seal Plan practice and the high school, and as Darren said, really Master said, everybody has to learn to play the recorder at the initial beginning of high school,
Indeed.
Yeah, so coming up, in between, I started doing a few gigs, started dropping off a bit from the sound system holding, because now there was a part where Nez actually saw that I could actually press play. I call it press play. Press play and synchronize and, beat match. And, he started saying that, you need to do these things when I can't make it or when I'm tired. You can't just be doing these things and, just setting up sound system and be there watching me. I get tired too, So I said, okay, cool, no problem. And then from there, started doing a few high school parties, backyard birthday parties, which are the initial beginning of many of us. And then doing beach parties as well. And it continued right up to the end of high school. We did a lot of high school where I met up with Rhythm as well. We met up in high school and we both joined forces.
Funny story how we met, by the way.
we both joined forces initially, and began beating down all these dances, the May Fete, the Old Time Fete, house parties, and corporate gigs, and then we continued right into college events as well. We continued.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we continued doing college events, and well, that's where the combo actually derived from, off of one event that we actually did to give back to the school, to college,
Yeah,
and it continued. Won a
it's
DJ competition at
in State College
college.
as well.
Yeah,
Yes, I
state college,
remember.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, State
where
College.
it led me to go to Vibes FM as an intern.
I was there as well for a little
Yeah,
bit as well.
yeah, he was there. Darren was
He
there.
beat me in the competition. I'll say that straight up.
Yeah.
He never wanted to go into the competition. We were all encouraging him to, and he ended up beating me.
Yeah, I was pretty much successful in the competition. So
That is amazing.
yeah.
But
Um,
listen, not just to shift gears a bit, because I mean, you guys have stories. I mean, I hope there's a book in the making, and you guys are
I mean,
documenting these things, because
I
this
mean,
is
I
I'm
mean,
blown away.
this is. I would say it. Without any hype, without any ego. This is what you pay for all what happened during the beginning, to the
Hmm.
come up, to the times that we struggle right through, to the times that we had our glitches. This is what you pay for. You pay for the quality that you're getting now, because we molded every single moment. We
Hmm.
learned from every single moment. So whatever
Indeed.
Spaniard or rhythm master charged you is what you pay for. You learn. You're not paying for what you see now. You're paying
Hmm.
for everything from the
The whole
beginning.
journey. No, that
Yeah.
makes a lot of
I'm
sense.
telling you, it's worth
Yeah.
every dollar.
No, no, and you guys are and you guys are
Every
still so
dollar.
young. You have
Yeah.
a whole life ahead of you.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Indeed.
But I want to reel things back to the finances, because
Mhm.
you guys are still young. Um, I want to talk about money management
Mhm.
and some of the challenges that you face. How what do you see as some of the challenges for people out there who may be considering doing this full time, which it sounds like you both are doing?
Um,
What would you say are the biggest challenges in trying to do music in Antigua and Barbuda as a full time career?
Mm.
you will face the challenge. First things first, have a second job, I should say.
Okay.
Have it as your second job before you leave it into being your primary job,
Okay.
instead of your main focus. Because it's a build up over time. It's not something that happens overnight where you put in a resume and because you studied it, you're getting into an industry just like that. It's something where you have to, build up. It's like strength training. You have to start from the
Mhm.
minimal weight to the high weight before you actually start seeing some different results. You
And you
can't
have to
just
build up. People have to get to know you.
yeah,
Oh
people have to
yeah.
get to know
Your
you. You have to
repertoire.
do a lot of networking. You have to do a lot of learning, and many of these things come with experience. And every moment is an experience. So
Hmm.
you have to go through a lot of experience that will take you for you to be in the spot where you'll be okay. This is my stationary job. This is a job that I'm sticking to.
Wow.
I will agree with him, though that is not my story timeline. How did I start? Like I said, I've been playing music. I've been doing gigs since I've been in high school, and obviously, look, I was born into a family that understood music, so there were still limitations in when I was still in high school where I could play. I mean, definitely went through some battles between my parents, but I started getting pocket money, as I'd call it now, from since I've
Hmm.
been in high school. Um, my father, who is also an accountant, he made sure that, listen, anything you save or anything you make, make sure you spend it wisely. Sometimes, they allowed me to be young. But after a while, he started whispering in my ear, I mean, you have to save, reinvest into what you're doing. You have to buy equipment. Equipment costs a lot of money. Um, so he's been training me and giving me all of these insights from a very young age. So when someone asks, the biggest problem, going back to your original question, the biggest problem as a DJ in Antigua is people understanding the value of the service we provide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's not just we come with a laptop and a
Yeah.
speaker that's, you know, a little boombox or whatever, and we're playing music for 50 or 100 people. I'd give you a simple breakdown of our pricing before we even talk about our experience, bringing into our experience. An average quality speaker, not necessarily high end, but a quality speaker, one quality speaker for a DJ costs minimum 400 US.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's start there. I will cut out the middle parts or the accessories you'd need to go along with that speaker, like wires,
Mm-hmm.
etc. Our laptop that contains all the thousands of songs that we do pay for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The laptop alone can easily cost between a proper laptop between 1,500 US up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Then the accessories, you got to make sure you have wires, stands to put it on, a table.
Yeah.
We have another thing that's very important called a DJ controller. You know, the wicka like everybody likes to
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know the name of that. I was going to ask you about that.
That as well can, a proper one definitely will be costing 1,000 US up.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm quoting everything in US. I have not said EC for anything.
Mm-hmm.
So just getting started with the basic system required to do any kind of party, you're at least at 2,000 US.
And
Yeah.
and you can, and these aren't things that you can share. I mean, these are your personal tools. This is like a carpenter and a mason. You're not going to share your hammer and your saw with anybody else. You know, you need your personal toolbox.
Yeah.
Well, you can share, but
But
suppose you're sharing it with another DJ and both y'all have a job
Gig
on the same day.
night.
at the same
Yeah,
time, on the
exactly.
same day, you know.
Exactly.
But have
Yeah.
your own.
So it's not
And
practical.
to add to what Darren said, where we pay for our music, other than, you know, paying our bills, you know, like you budget for your bills and, you know, your house rent, your light and electricity, you add the music pool, the record pool, and some of us have more than 4 record pools, which estimatedly one record pool will cost you 25 US a month.
It
So
adds up. Yeah.
It does. It adds up. And I think what people see is the end result and not necessarily all the costs that are involved. And then you add on top of that your expertise. When you bring in a DJ with a master, it's different than bringing in DJ Dweed.
Yeah.
You know,
DJ
so
nobody. Yeah.
you gotta, yeah. And I know a lot of people, unfortunately, if they don't see a product like a tin of milk that you can tangibly hold, it's very difficult sometimes for persons to wrap
Gauge
their
the value. Yeah.
around a service costs money.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And on top of that, you guys are young. So, you know, I can imagine that some people figure, oh, these are young guys. They don't really need the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, to add to that, we have to change our look. You know, we have to add to our looks because you can't book me to your event and I'm coming in there looking like Wolverine or, you know, so in the budget as well, budgeting all of this.
You got to manage that image.
Barber,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the perfume.
Branding.
The branding as well,
yeah.
you know, branding. So the perfume that I'm going to wear into your function, because obviously it's more than just you know, just DJing. It's more of a brand. It's more of an attraction.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the amount of things that you bring to it. As simple as that. You know, your hygiene. How do you look? You know, are people gonna want to? You know, these days persons are more going out to the DJ because from what I heard, quote unquote, a DJ was just somebody that was in a cabin back in the day. Now the DJ and the Prime Minister stands in the same spot. You know, in the same light.
Wow.
Yeah, the DJ and the Prime Minister stands in the same light. A DJ and an artist stand in the same light.
Oh yeah.
We have to look the part. It's about personality. It's not just about the talents, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How music has evolved all around.
Yeah.
The more
It's an
technology
image.
involved, you know,
Yeah, so-
the image, yeah.
All
Viewers-
these
I have a
things.
question to both of you. With all that you've said, and I think it's a lot for a young entrepreneur to handle, with all of that, and Darren, you did mention about your dad. How do you manage situations where you might have a gig um, in a month? So I can well imagine like carnival time would be
Or
a busy
Christmas.
time, but there might be some other months when things aren't so hot. How do you manage your cash flow and still stay on top of your expenses?
Well, I would say this starts with you balancing what you had during the busy season. Because not because you would have a big what you call it, a big income during this month, you're going to spend the same big income right away in the same month. You're going to balance all this because you're going to continue taking out just how you had it before. You're going to continue taking out everything apart. You understand?
Yeah, so I'd say as well, just like you said, I would say for us in Antigua as DJs, our peak seasons would be definitely summer, which also
Mhm.
entails carnival. If you are a carnival DJ, because there are a few DJs that may not care for carnival events, etc., etc. But summer is summer. There's a lot to do during summer. School is out, etc. Summer. You can say maybe around certain holidays or recognizable days, so like Valentine's. We might have a lot of Valentine's themed events. Um, Maybe Independence celebration slash Halloween, which our own is November 1st. Halloween is December 31st. You'll have a spike of parties there. Christmas, definitely Christmas.
Yep, the
Then
work
going
Mhm.
into
parties,
New
the
Year's.
business, the corporate parties.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and this is and you know, just like she said, corporate parties. This is the part where you decide. You also have to decide yourself what sort of DJ you want to be, because you have an event DJ, you have a fed DJ, you have hotel DJs, you have um
radio.
radio DJ. You understand? So it depends on what aspect, which field do you want to go into, because it has fields. You can split it. Some persons may not like the outside world. Some persons may just be more digital than anything. You
Yeah,
know,
you can be an online DJ
you
now
can
as
be an
well.
online DJ as well. You know, you can be an online DJ and still
Oh,
get paid. You
wow.
don't have to walk. Depending on how you build your platform, you don't have to walk outside unless you're going to the supermarket. You don't need to go to any. You know, so persons that
Wow.
get paid
That's
online.
interesting.
Yeah,
Very.
persons that get paid online more than what some other may make.
DJs will get in person. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it
And
depends
so
on how,
with online DJs, does that then expand your opportunities to work outside of Antigua? I know you do a bit of outside work, Darren.
All
I'm
right.
not sure
So
about Spaniard.
the online, he does. He travels probably more than me
Oh
sometimes.
wow.
Um, in terms of the online
he just
DJing,
came back.
that really came around, I'd say, or became more prevalent because of COVID. Um, Facebook, Twitter, they have another app called Twitch. You could
Mm-hmm.
go play music live on these shows, and people could send you, cash
Tips.
apps or PayPal
Yeah.
tips or whatever. They have other websites that give subscription, so you get a notification when your favorite DJ is on, and you may be paying them $10 a month to get exclusive music, or mixes, whatever.
Yeah.
um DJs do can make a living off of that, and that became a lot more prevalent because of COVID.
Because of
And
Mm-hmm.
COVID.
a lot of DJs have stuck with it and decided, they're not gonna bother going to a club or whatever. They're
Yeah.
gonna stay at home, have their home set up, nice backgrounds, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
And they do their thing online.
Yeah.
I think as well that's maybe intertwined with radio, because radio is now streaming online. You have online radios
Right.
that don't have an FM dial. You could also make money from that. So you do have DJs that go that route and will not be traveling like us. Now, could you use an online platform to expand to then travel? If that's your end goal. I mean, a few of us, Spaniard and I, we did a few things during COVID where we were streaming online. We were on Facebook Live, and that helped to keep us relevant so people remember us when the COVID restrictions
Yeah.
subsided and you wanted to hire a DJ. I remember during COVID in 2020, we actually played, well, Spaniard played for an event that was happening in St. Kitts. You can tell them about it.
Okay, so I randomly just came up with an idea because there's a promoter that I knew, and I told them there was an event I played for physically in person the year before. And then COVID came around and St. Kitts was open. St. Kitts and Nevis was open for a while. And I told him, hey, I just pulled a joke. This is why sometimes you have to be careful with what you say. I said, sometimes I was like, hey, what if I do it through Zoom? What if I come and play through Zoom? So he's like, okay, no problem. Set it up. Let's arrange a videographer and this and that and, set up connections with this. I was like, oh, so you're serious. So, I played from Antigua on a screen. So I had a videographer that set up the whole streaming platform here, and they set up a screen in St. Kitts in the event called Pineapple Bin. Showed us the Elite events one time. They set up a big screen, like a projector screen, a big one, and I performed right there, and it was very successful.
So were you the only DJ, or they had one on site as well?
They had some live on site, and then
right.
some. Yeah, so because of the idea,
so you were the celebrity. You were the celebrity DJ.
Yeah, that's
okay.
the thing.
Yes, you were.
Of course.
I was.
Yeah, no.
Guest DJ, I think is more the term. We were the guest DJ. We would be the guest DJ.
Okay.
Yeah.
But listen, Spaniard, is Ronnie Rascal still doing his thing in St. Kitts?
Yeah, they're still there. Those are
You're joking.
Those are
of
veterans.
Of course, Ronnie Rascal is still doing his stuff.
Ronnie
Rascal,
what happened,
he looks good. He looks like young boy.
What happened is that everybody picks their pattern as you start maturing, growing, and you've been in certain business for a while. After you've been in certain business, you start leaving certain things for the juniors to come in. So as you start elevating, if you come out from you move from secretary to supervisor, somebody is gonna go and sit down in the secretary chair.
Right.
So he's still there, so he's just doing things that the seniors would do and keep engaged with his grown folks of his era.
Just like we're burning flames.
Exactly. Just like burning flames.
You guys be careful what you're saying, okay? Those are our contemporaries. Watch it.
Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Like Chicky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You guys watch it, okay? Go easy on us.
Yeah. Don't worry. We have you guys.
Jareed, now might be a good time to remind our guests to
get their money
mantra.
Yeah, pop your money mantras. Yeah, and your money songs in the chat so we can kind of go through them. But gentlemen, you know what's very interesting? I did some research about the 7 things that musicians should do as far as managing their money, and you guys are so on the money. I'm serious. I'm gonna put the slide up. Alia, can you put the slide up? But I was taking notes too with the things that you guys were saying, and of course, Darren talked about prioritizing savings. That's definitely a big one. One goal at a time. We really didn't get into that, but I think Spaniard talked about kind of picking what type of DJ you want to be, right? Then invest in yourself. And you guys talked about that, both in your image, the equipment, you have to, you're building a brand. So invest in yourself, reframe your perspective. I'm not sure we got into that, but I'd love to come back to that in terms of a next step. So we'll come back to that. Remember your value.
They did mention that from a COVID point of view, they had to reframe their perspective.
That is true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of remember your values.
Yes.
Have faith.
For sure.
And have a lot of faith.
Have a lot of faith.
Yeah, we had as much faith as us driving our vehicles with the gas light on and knowing that we would reach the venue and be back home safely without cutting off.
Oh my goodness. With a yellow light on, huh?
Yeah. And it wasn't even Christmas yet.
Oh my goodness, that's funny. And the last one, it's not the end of the world. But I
Yeah.
want to I
Oh
want
boy.
to talk about reframing your perspective. You know, you guys are young. I always, Alia, thank you so much for that. We can take the slide down. Um, but you know, you guys are still young, and you know, you have a whole life ahead of you. I want to talk about the future, and of course, the financially how you're going to get there. So, where do you guys see yourselves in, let's say, the next 5 years, the next 20 years? Of course, no one knows. Five years ago, no one could have predicted pre-COVID how entertainment could have been transformed,
Yeah.
digital music, the opportunities, the possibilities. But we're going to play pretend, and assuming that, you know, life is reasonably predictable for the next 5 years. Where do you gentlemen see yourselves in terms of your music careers?
Well, for me, I have a lot of things in store because I would like to have an agency. I would like to have events. I would like to have, like association. I would like to have give back moments, give back moments, things that, give back, things that encourage other students, things to bring in more into the craft, teaching others as well as we go along, there's so much things that I can't even tell you everything now because there's so much things in the music that just it's just born regularly. Like right now, like there's something new every minute. So
I can
there's more,
imagine.
and I can't tell you everything off the bat. But as time comes along, there'll be new things, and you'll just have it, written down, and you'll just make it as times progress.
For sure, we gotta
Fantastic.
keep our eye on the
Oh
Spaniard. He
yeah.
is going
Oh
to be
yeah.
coming with
Oh
bigger and better.
definitely. You hear Spaniard say he's standing up next to the prime minister? I think Spaniard really means to tell us that he's going to be standing in the prime minister's spot, not next to.
Oh,
Spaniard,
Let's watch that space.
and the
Let's
name
watch that spot.
and the name Freeland is associated with politics. So let's keep our eyes on Spaniard. Let's
oh
not
my
take
God! Oh my
let's
God!
not take our eyes off. Let's not take our eyes off the prize. Are
Oh
you
my!
Are you related to that family?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Oh my
All
goodness.
right.
See? All
I wish
right.
I could have. I wish I could have said no, but remember how I introduced myself. Anybody
But
can
we're gonna
scroll
have to
back to the
talk off
starting of the
air
video.
because
Oh
we're
yeah,
gonna
we
have
will
to talk
definitely.
off air because we're close to that family too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we know your people. I am sure.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, same thing for you, DJ, Rhythm Master. Where do you see yourself in another 5 years?
I share almost the same sentiments as Spaniard because 5 years ago, what was 5 years ago? 20,
It's
where's my notes? 20,
17.
2017.
Not so long ago.
2017, I was a year out of high school. I was at State College, struggling a bit with State College because unfortunately, locally in Antigua, none of the colleges or tertiary educations were really offering directly what I wanted at the time. At the same time, I had a little bit more. My parents gave me a little bit more rope, and I was able to do a little bit more gigs. Be late out at night doing parties, etc. Starting to do the big events. I was also getting a bit more recognized locally. Um, but 5 years ago, I had big dreams. Any DJ, any musician has big dreams of playing on a big stage, playing in big places like Madison Square Garden in front of
Yeah,
thousands.
that's what
Um,
we're talking about. Yeah,
but you never know when that, if we're being realistic, you never know when that time would be. Not everyone is granted the same opportunities to jump ahead of the class, if you want to call it that. So 2017 was also the first year I ever traveled to DJ. Spaniard and I both traveled to Anguilla. It was Anguilla, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Angola. Yeah.
2017 was the first time I ever traveled to play in another country, all expense paid in another party.
oh
And,
wow.
you know, yeah, that was an experience. So from then I was like, okay, 2018 progressed, and my goals in 2017 was just, get to the biggest parties in Antigua. Hopefully everybody knows me. I can do different types of events. I think by 2018 I would have played for my first couple events in Government House.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've
You're chilling with the big boys.
so every year my perspective change on what my 5-year goal will be. Now, of course, COVID
And that's a
happened.
good thing.
Which
Yes.
means you're meeting those goals and maybe surpassing them.
And advancing. Yeah, and advancing.
There is that, but because I would say as well, I started so young and I've been in it since I'm a teenager. You are never prepared, one, as a child for adulting. You just start living, you join the rat
That's very
race,
true.
and then bills, responsibilities. So first of all, just being a regular human and understanding those things you have to deal with on a regular basis. Then you add in extra responsibilities as an entrepreneur, because that's what we are. It your perspectives change and a pandemic happens. So I'd say presently for myself, my 5-year plan is somewhat uncertain, but I do have a few goals I would like to meet. For the past year, I've traveled to Dubai. I've played in
Nice.
a few places in the United States. I haven't been to as many Caribbean islands as I'd like, but I've played in a few Caribbean islands. Would like to hopefully expand that list next year. So 5-year goal.
We will.
We will.
And you guys you guys are like a duo. You play together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
We do.
nice. Well, how are you finding these? How are you finding these gigs in Dubai? Online? What's the deal?
That was actually sponsored by our lovely government.
Okay. Okay.
This was for the
wow.
Dubai Expo. I was chosen alongside a few of Antigua's talented musicians to represent the country at the Dubai Expo.
Okay.
So yes, that was a definite experience. So that was my first time on that side of the hemisphere. Spaniard as well. Actually, we played for it was in the UK this year for Notting Hill Carnival.
Nice.
So we've both been on at different times been on the other side of the world. Locally, well, regionally, we've both been to Barbados, St. Kitts quite a few times. He's been to Guyana. I haven't been yet. Where else have I been? I've been to Guadeloupe. I played in Guadeloupe when in 2018. I went back to Anguilla just before the pandemic hit. We were supposed to be months up, but COVID hit at the same time for St. Patrick's Day. So yeah, in terms of my 5-year goal, again, I keep straying. There's so many things to say. In terms of my 5-year goal, I've also entered into the production realm, and that would be me tapping back into my musician side a bit more. I hopefully plan to help Antigua's music expand. Of course, when I travel, most people know about Burning Flames. They may know about Ricardo Duty and Winter Claudette Peters, but we have so many more artists. So one of my goals is to try and help our music industry locally, our music to get international.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my goals. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but it's a big goal. It's a little bite idea that I'm going to make a big bite.
Oh, right.
Keep traveling, although I'm learning as well that traveling is not easy. Being a traveling DJ is not easy. It is taxing.
I'm ready to tell the story.
Mentally, physically. So I'm really trying to gauge how much traveling I'd like to do, because we have a lot of DJ comrades who are on a plane every other day.
Wow.
And they're our age. I'm 23, but I have a DJ friend who's a year under me, and he's been all over the world. He's from the Bahamas. His name is Overdose. he's been all over the world playing music for the past 2 years, and it's non-stop traveling,
Wow.
non-stop,
Yep.
you know, and getting a piece of that pie myself, I have to figure, okay, do I want to be traveling forever? Because you do make money while traveling. I mean, once you set up your business correctly. But I could be successful as well being in Antigua doing different jobs, corporate events, playing on radio, private events, etc. So you have to figure out which life is for you. You do
Yes.
reinvent yourself. After 10 years, you may not be as young and don't want to be on a plane all the time. So you may say, okay, let's not do so much traveling, but only travel ever so often or when it's for a special occasion. Um, so, that brings perspective into where do you want to be in 5 years? Do I
Mm-hmm.
want to be still traveling a lot in 5 years? I don't know. Maybe a family might come about. And that may hinder me from traveling as often as I do now, jumping on a plane ever so often. Even locally, can I be playing out at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and have a toddler
Him.
that needs to get to school? So I might have to be more of a radio DJ or, going to making productions, commercials, hosting corporate events, that type of thing, which, once you set your price, obviously it's to know budget, make sure you meet your monthly expenses and, you can make ends meet in our industry.
Fantastic. Do we have any questions, Megan? Is that my
Um,
gorgeous niece?
that's your gorgeous niece.
Hi.
Say hi. She
Hi,
was crying. She
princess.
wanted to come in, so I had to bring her. Oh,
She's so
yes,
adorable.
yes. Say hello. Well, let me not get her talking. So
So,
we don't have any money mantras or any songs, but Daniel McCoy
Oh
says,
my
I remember
gosh.
oh,
Darren playing the drums on cardboard boxes when we were kids.
oh my God. So
I
Darren
have to
brought his
say,
peeps.
Darren,
He brought his peeps.
I thought you were professionally trained as a drummer because you're so good.
No, I
Wow.
wasn't. No,
Wow.
I wasn't.
Then
I
we have Wonderful. She says, these young men These young men are certainly very creative. I love the fact that you added online performance to your roster. In the midst of COVID, my company held our block party via Zoom with DJ.
nice.
Very nice.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Nice.
She also says, love the fact that these young men are creative. Adding online performances is dynamic. Yes, so she said, my company held a block party via Zoom, complete with a DJ since the pandemic. I'm so excited for you.
That's great.
And Marion O'Reilly Byron says, keep up the good work. My two sons.
Hi, Auntie Marian.
Yes, my mother has become his mother. His mother has become my mother.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
nice.
wonderful. That's
Nice.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all that we have for right now.
Well, folks, this has been a wonderful discussion. I
It
have
has
learned
been.
so much. Go right ahead,
Just
Caesar.
not to cut you, not to cut
No,
you,
go right
but
ahead.
I saw you put up something a while ago when you were putting up the pointers. The I think you went up to number
7
7.
points, I believe.
Yeah, the
Yes.
7 points.
Yes.
Can you put it up just for 2 seconds to see something? I just
Sure.
wanted to share just in case anybody. Oh,
Yes.
number two.
Uh-huh.
Number two.
Yes.
To everyone that's listening, and this doesn't only go with just DJing. It goes with
Uh-huh.
everything in life. One goal at a time.
I'm
Because
telling you.
there are times that we can really be some great overthinkers, and we think that we need to complete every single thing in our career in one day and just override ourselves with and gather ourselves with a lot of work, and then we don't even get to what you call it see the
We
fruits
don't
of
get to
our
breathe. We don't get to
yeah,
see the
see the
flowers.
fruits of our labor, so take your time, and this goes with everything, one goal at a time. Just write them down, but just cover one at a time. Nothing
Yep.
comes overnight.
Jack of all
Everything
trades is a
everything has
master of
its.
none.
Sorry.
I said, as they say, a jack of all trades is a master of none.
Exactly.
And I can tell you about being a master because I'm still not a master. I just
Come on, you're a rhythm master. Come on now.
I still haven't another goal is to hopefully go back to school. I haven't finished my education as I'd like to. I mean, you never stop learning, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you never
But
stop.
besides production, I also do other engineering, commercials. I deal with bands, that type of thing. At some point, I'd like to at least do at least a few certifications, that type of thing, within
Yeah.
that field.
Same over here.
And get that Grammy. You
Woo!
know, there's
Honestly,
so much.
Into the year.
You know, there's so much. You know, there's so much. Someone I went to school with went to school in music, and you know, at an advanced stage, and got a Grammy for arranging. I didn't even know these things existed.
Yes, you
So,
can, doing actually, I forgot to mention a project I actually did recently with one of my family members, Crystal Cashin. I did
Oh
the
my God, I
music
saw it,
then.
Darren. Oh my God.
what is
Awesome.
it? What is it?
No, that's gonna be for another show. We're gonna have to have Crystal on.
Oh
It's
boy.
a reenactment, a story. She wrote a story about Anansi. It is so amazing, and
Oh
the
wow!
music is that's gonna be
Yeah.
another show.
So that's something else I do. So DJing is really and truly at this point my night job.
Mm-hmm.
I Spaniard said it earlier, have different jobs. So for myself, I'm still within music, but I've tapped into different streams of music. And obviously that's just because my family is in music. Music is in my blood. So I've decided for myself I'm going to stay in music as much as I can, but there are different avenues. You can be a musician, you can be an arranger, you can do commercials, be on radio as a DJ or even an announcer, and then still do DJing. I also do equipment rental,
Oh, fantastic!
others. So Spaniard also does rentals as well. So, you know, he as well, you can tell them what you do on the side or otherwise than music.
Well, as Darren said, I do equipment rentals. Also, I had to learn a few things while coming up. As other persons would say, being Spanish, you know everything. That's handy. So, I did, I still do every now and then vehicle tinting,
I was
house.
about to say, I'm sure you can fix cars, man.
That's more my brother, but I learn a few things.
Well, you are two real entrepreneurs.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
You have your side hustle and then your side hustle.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That is awesome.
Exactly. So
COVID also taught us a very big lesson in that because
yeah. And things that we didn't really pay attention that we actually knew how to do. We actually took it up and made a stream of income in it with it.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so.
But gentlemen, before we leave, I want to get I'm going to give both of you an opportunity to share one piece of financial advice, a little idea as far as finance that you'd like to share for other musicians or other people who are just trying to get their gigs going. What one recommendation? We went through the 7 things that, of course, we have to do to get our finances together. But let's personalize this. What is your personal idea?
For me, save, invest, and learn something else that would bring an income. So you could save again and invest again in something else. So it just continues. So for example, you learn how to DJ, you save off the DJ, invest in your speakers. You invest in your speakers, you do system rental, you don't have to go outside and DJ. You save from the speakers, again, invest into something else. So, just save, invest, and just balance it and keep everything in account.
That's wonderful.
And with the same the same music entertainment money you invest into something else out of the music.
So save, invest, repeat.
Yeah, save,
Love
invest,
it.
repeat.
Love it.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Whew.
Your turn, Mr. Byron.
Hmm. Um, I think I'd expound now. If this advice is going to musicians, DJs within the field, I'm going to expound a little bit more on investment. Um, and investment comes in different ways. You Not all the time, because we're entrepreneurs, especially when you start up, you'll be able to go to the bank and say, "Hey, I need $50,000." Um, but you may have an uncle that lends you a speaker or his laptop, or an aunt that allows you to use her vehicle. As
Mhm.
simple as having a vehicle just to get around makes a big difference.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, you know, First off, write down your plans, or not physically write, put it in a notepad in your laptop, something, even express to other friends who have your interests at heart, so they can be your daily reminders that, hey, you need to keep doing what you're doing. Um Put it out into the atmosphere what you'd like to do, then see make a list of all the resources you need to get the job done. So as a DJ, okay, I'm going to be a DJ. First of all, I need to get a laptop. You need to get the small tad bits of equipment that I said in the beginning that you need to
Hmm.
minimally get the job done.
Right.
And, you know, especially on the equipment part, okay, what events can I do? Because, some DJs can handle the pressure of a big event with thousands of people in front of them. Some DJs may not be able to handle something as small as a wedding, because those two are very important. But some people may like small, intimate settings, or they their best comes out in a small, intimate setting, and for other people, playing in front of thousands of people is nothing, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but playing in front of thousands of people may not need you to buy speakers, because they have a big sound company and lights and etc. stage doing all of that. All you have to do is come with your laptop and your personality and just wow the crowd. Whereas wedding, you would have to probably provide the speakers, maybe a few lights, have all the equipment set up, etc. Both of those areas or lanes you could go down as a DJ require just as much an investment. Um, for a wedding DJ, you're gonna have to spend thousands of dollars on equipment. To play on big events and such, you may have to invest in the PRO. You may have to invest in you know, your looks, your image, as Spaniard spoke about earlier, making sure you have the right clothes. And in this day and age, hey, if even if it's not the branding, you may have to spend on brand names. Um, your graphics, your image, having the right pictures, doing photo shoots, videos, getting endorsements. Um, and that can take a few $1,000s just as buying equipment. Um,
Wow.
So it's knowing what lane you want to go down. Then hey, asking a friend to borrow $50, $100, start out small, so you can get a couple T-shirts, or you can buy a few wires. All of those things make a big difference, because then you do your job, you get your first set of money, pay back the person, save, do a couple more jobs, and then hey, I'll buy a speaker now. Or, hey, I'm gonna buy a ticket to go to an event or festival somewhere to network, to hopefully get on the festival. Um, so it takes investment. Investment is very important. Investing in your craft, investing in your image is important, because, like you said, people need something they can tangibly see or hold. So as a
Absolutely.
DJ, when you're providing a service, people need to see that you have equipment, because if you want to charge 10,000 quadrillion dollars, I'm making it up, that's not how much it is. If you want to be charging that kind of amount, people need to see that yes, your skills are worth that much, but you do have the equipment to get the job done. or build your brand up to a name that, hey, I as a promoter, somebody having an event, if you're having an event with 10,000 people, by them just putting your name on the event flyer, you're bringing 20,000 people.
Yep.
And that takes an investment to get to that level as well.
Yeah.
So I'd say invest is important. Saving is important as well, but you cannot just always save your money, because if your speakers are going bad, if your vehicle that you drive around is going bad, and all you're doing is saving for a rainy day as well, the rainy day may happen where, hey, all my speakers stop working and you're having an event and you're not able to make any more money. And you never know when another pandemic might happen. So yeah, it's invest, and invest smartly is what I'd say.
And one of them as well that I wanted to go back to the initial beginning, that when we were, talking about the things that we normally would have to budget for. As you know, most times what we work is nocturnal, and nocturnal meaning that it's in the night, and night was made to rest. So we need to also invest in our vitamins. We budget for our vitamins. Our tonics,
Investing in sleep as well.
Yep, I can imagine.
Yeah, because we would have some sleepless weeks and so on. And, that basically decreases the performance of our body. So,
that is wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for enlightening me. I thought I knew about music, but you guys have brought a whole new perspective.
Totally different level.
We're still stuck on the days of Tropics with Kenny Nibs and Ronnie Rascal.
wow.
And Chicky. So, it's great to hear that opportunity. I mean, I live in New Jersey, so I see the opportunity for young people as far as entertainment. But I'm happy to see that even in Antigua, things are evolving where younger people can spread their wings. Not everybody has to go get a job in the bank or do the traditional things. But I'm always very, very encouraged and excited to see when young people can, you have talents, you tap into them, and you find a way to monetize it, start a business, and live your best dreams. So the only issue I have with you guys, man, you didn't bring any music. We were hoping that
we're gonna bring them back. We're gonna bring them back for a real money jam.
We're hoping we would have a money jam, or maybe they can send it to us for Christmas. Send us a money jam.
We'll prepare something for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll hold you to that.
We'll definitely hold you. Well, here in the United States, anyone who's listening, I know everyone's getting ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow.
Yes.
And
we would like some ham and turkey, please.
And some ham and turkey, you got it. We'll send it to you virtually.
All right.
And we want to thank everyone for joining us today. Megan, do we have any final questions or comments before we leave?
No, those were all the comments that we have.
Okay, great. Well, I think it's been a slow night. People are probably getting ready for Thanksgiving, or
maybe
taking a night off.
It's raining in some parts in Antigua, so
that too.
Okay, great. Well, we hope to have you guys back again.
Absolutely.
If we don't catch up
Thank
with
you so much.
We wish you a very Merry Christmas when it comes around. I know we're a little early, but I know it's going to be a windfall, but a busy time for you guys. And I mean, hopefully we can make some of that COVID money back in December, man.
And save for the rainy day.
And save for the rainy day.
Yeah,
you guys having us as well. We really appreciate it.
Yep. So I just want to say thank you to Alia, who is our girl behind the scenes. She puts this together. Technically, we wouldn't know where to start. So Alia, thank you so much. And to everyone, we look forward to having you back next week, which will be the final Wednesday in November and our final episode covering Entrepreneurship Month. So we're going to have another fun show for you next week. So we'll see you right back here next Wednesday, 4 my time, 5 your time, where we talk about Likkle Byte Ideas. It's been great, gentlemen. Nice having you. And we're over and out.
All right.
Guys.
So